Good morning, my children. Welcome to my channel, Sri Thakur. Today we will discuss remaining slokas, translation as well as their expansion. In previous video, we discussed 4 stanzas from chapter number 13. Okay, Nectar of Gita, Gitamrutam. In this chapter, in this part, we will discuss remaining slokas, that is 5, 6, 7. Okay. So before we start, before you watch the video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the red letters written down, subscribe button, and share it among your friends. Without fail, it will be helpful for you. You will get notification for upcoming videos. Okay. So we'll start with fifth stanza. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जनः सुकृतिनोर्जुन आर्तजिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ. Here Krishna speaks to Arjun. Chaturvidha, 4 kind of people. Chaturvidha jana. Here we have to link. Chaturvidha jana, 4 kind of people, 4 types of people. Mam bhajante, worship me. I mean, he has categorized all the devotees into 4 groups or 4 types. So therefore he says Chaturvidha Janaha Mang Bhajante, 4 kinds of people worship me. And Sukrutino Arjun, Arjun means the address, O Arjun, 4 kinds of people, 4 types of people worship me, and they are really Sukrutino, they are lucky. Sukrutino, they are really fortunate. O Arjun, you have to start with the address. O Arjun, 4 types of people worship me, and they are lucky, they are fortunate. Who are they? It is there in second line. Artho means artah, jignasuhu, artha arthi, gnani cha bharatarsava. Again, Bharatarsava word speaks about the adjective Arjun. Bharatarsava, he belongs to Bharata dynasty. So Bharata, best among the Bharata dynasty. Artha, first of all, we have to speak about Artha. Artha means one who is unhappy. For any reason, we become unhappy in different times, at different place, in different situations. So those people called Artha, unhappy. Jignasu, Jignasu, eager to know. Jignasu, curious, anxiety to know. Okay. Artha, arthi, desiring for money. Desiring for money. Jignasu means curious or eager to know about what? Eager to know about God, eager to know about religion, eager to know about own principles or doctrines, or you can say aspects of life they are eager to know. Curious, and curious means eager to know, or jignasu. Artha, arthi, those who are desiring for money, those who are every day running and rushing for here and there for getting money. So they are called artha, arthi, asking for desiring for money, and gnani, knowledgeable. Bharatarsava is one more adjective. We can add with Arjun. O Arjun, best of the Bharata dynasty, 4 kind of people worship me. They are really lucky. And those 4 types of people are Artha means unhappy, Jignasu means curious or eager to know, Artha arthi desiring for money, and Gnani means knowledgeable. Okay. So they worship me and they are really lucky. Now we have to understand here, others are unlucky. Others means all the people he has categorized in 4 group, all will be indicated. Okay. Now after I repeat the translation only. O Arjun, the best of Bharata dynasty, people who are unhappy, curious, those who desire for wealth, and those who are knowledgeable, they worship me and they are really lucky on this earth. Okay. Now we have to expand the idea. In the above stanza, Lord Krishna categorizes the kind of people who do take refuge in him, I mean who surrender to him. They are as follows: the distressed, the unhappy people, the seekers after knowledge, those who are ready to get knowledge, the seeker of worldly possessions, those who are following the material life, those who want things. Today I want this, tomorrow that I want that, all like this. And those who are situated in knowledge, I mean those who are asking for knowledge only. Okay. So let us discuss them one by one. So we have to focus on these 4 points. One is unhappy, curious, and those who are desire for money, and those who are knowledgeable. So here we have to find the first one is artha, unhappy. People become different in different situation unhappy. Okay. So let us take an example of Draupadi. When Draupadi was insulted in the Kauravas assembly, in Duryodhana's assembly, by Dushasan, at that time, she, after losing her strength, all the hopes and what do you say, that faith, he surrendered to God. He surrendered to Almighty. Then Almighty provided the help, so that she rescued her life from the clutches of Dushasan. That is distress. Suppose if you are unhappy for any reason, you go to temple, you worship, you do meditation, so to avoid that unhappiness. So it is one of the reason. So those people also worship. Then second is curious. Curious means to know, interested for knowing. Interested for knowing what? Knowing about God, knowing about religion, and we have heard many things about God, but still we remain quiet. But we are never ready. Actually, is it there? What are the benefits by following God? What should we do? What should we do in coming contact with God? That these things we have to know very seriously. So that the benefit we are going to get. Okay. And the third one is those who desire for wealth. Children, today in today's world, people are running and rushing for earning money. They don't think about what is the real life. They follow the material life. So after getting money, they get happiness. It is their thinking. But children, by money or from the money, you cannot get everything. Then also people go to God asking God to give money. So they also worship God. 4 kinds of people worship me. They are lucky on this earth. Okay. So who are they? Unhappy, curious, and desire for money, and knowledgeable. Now fourth one is knowledgeable. Okay. Third one we discuss. Knowledgeable means, here knowledge means we have lots of knowledge in the subject, in different worldly life, different people, environment, situation, everything, how to tackle the situation. Then also here knowledge comes related to God, related to religion. That also can be happened, that also can be achieved with the help of God only, with the grace of God. So those people also surrender to God. So here Krishna wants to say there are 4 category of people, 4 types of people who worship me. They are in need of God. That's why they need me. They come to me, they surrender to me. Okay. So after explaining few words about each and every point, we have to write moral. Surrendering to Almighty or surrendering to God is the only ultimate goal of life. I mean, without surrendering to Him, there is no way out of the problem in life. So in simple, in one sentence we have to write moral. Surrendering to the Almighty is the only ultimate goal of life. That is stanza number 5. Now stanza number 6. Yasman nod vijate loko, lokan nod vijate jajah, harsa marso bhayad vegehi, mukta yah sacha me priya. Here in this stanza, Lord Krishna wants to clarify who is really, what kind of devotee is really dear to me or my favorite. Okay. So here 2 sentences are given. Yasmat na udvijate loko. Loko means the world. The world is not affected by the people. One by whom the world is not affected. जिससे दुनिया affected नहीं होता है. And lokan advijate jajah, and one who does not affect the world. See, you affect the people, you are affected. 2 things are different. I disturb you, one thing, and I am disturbed, different thing. So here, one who is never affected by the people, one who does not affect the people. Never affected, never affects. 2 things are different. Please verify. Okay. One who is neither affected by the people nor affects the people. And second, Harsha, Amarsa, Bhaya, Udvega. It is a Dvanda compound, 4 words combined here. Harsha, Amarsa, Bhaya, Udvega. Harsha, Amarsa, Bhaya, Udvega. Harsha means happiness. Amarsa means jealousy. Bhaya means fear. And Udvega, anxiety. Anxiety to know. Muktaha, I mean one who is free from. Harsha means happiness, Amarsa means jealousy, Bhaya means fear, Udvega means anxiety. Sacha me priya, he is dear to me. That devotee is really dear to me, or he is my favorite devotee. It does not mean that others are enemy, not like this. I mean one who controls all these things, one who is never affected by the world, nor affects the world, and one who is free from Harsha means happiness, Amarsa means jealousy, Bhaya means fear, Udvega means anxiety. He is dear to me and he is my favorite. Okay. So here we will discuss translation. I am giving in PDF, so you can see it from here also. Otherwise PDF is there, I am going to provide, so you can read from there. Now we will discuss expansion. See, we will start with this. Lord Krishna wants to clarify which type of devotee are real to God, near to God, or dear to Him. So the soul is by nature pure and uncontaminated. He is not affected. The problem is that it is presently covered by impure mind. Once these impurity are removed, the glorious quality of the soul naturally shine forth. Here in this stanza, Lord Krishna describes some more qualities that develop in his devotee. What are the requirement? What are the criteria? Or what are the needed point for a devotee to be near to God? Okay. So he is categorizing. He is clarifying that who is not affected by the world. I mean, people are trying to put us in problem, but we are so strong that we are never affected. Problem do not touch us. Problem cannot that overcome us or override us. How it happens? Just let us take an example. That lotus leaf. It is in the water. If you take out the lotus leaf from the water, you will find even drop of water could not touch the lotus leaf. That is the best example for how we are not affected by the problem. Number 2, who does not affect the problem. Nowadays people, to fulfill their purpose, to fulfill their malified intention, they put the people in trouble, either to get name and fame, or purposefully to harass others, or to blame others, or to fulfill own intention. They put the people in trouble. Okay. So one who does not do that, okay, one who is neither affected by the people nor affects the people, not put others in the problem, and one who is free from harsha, happiness. Now you will ask me, sir, happiness we need, it is the one of the requirement of life, but why one should be free from happiness? Happiness means overexcitement. When you get something, when you achieve something, you feel I have got everything. You are overexcited. So one should not happen. You should maintain balance in both the things, happiness and unhappiness. Okay. So one who is free from overexcitement, over happiness. Amarsa, jealousy, looking at others in progressing in their life, flourishing in their life, we are feeling jealousy of him. So we should not do that, because he is getting according to his talent, according to skill. I should also try at my level best to get up to that position. Why should I be jealous of him or her? If somebody is achieving, it is because of hard work, because of his or her hard work. I should also try at that level to get that position. So we should be free from jealousy. Bhaya. Here, children, we have fear in our life from various things, various people. But we forget at the same time, if I have not committed any blunder, if I am not at fault, why should I fear from anyone? If I should have fear from God. If I have fear from God, then I will not commit any crime, I will not commit any mistake, I will not do any error. So we should have fear from the God only, not from any human being, not from any artificial problem. Okay, so we should be free from that fear. And udvega, anxiety means always desiring something. Excess desire is called anxiety. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, today I want this, tomorrow I want. So that is the intention. You are going to material life, you are trying to get something from material life. So you don't want God to be helped, you don't want God, you want the things only. So one should be free from that. Okay, so these things to be explained in expansion, each and every point to be explained, and make it sure that your explanation should not be go beyond 70 to 80 words. Okay, now moral, one should maintain balance in several odds in life and remain free from bad qualities. I repeat, what is the moral? One should maintain balance in several odds in life and remain free from bad qualities. So I told you children in the beginning, I am repeating. So each and every point should be mentioned separately. Okay. So now stanza number last, 7th stanza. We will discuss only translation today. We will not take up the exercise today because it becomes very lengthy for me, for you also. Okay. So now let's start 7th stanza discussion. प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्य कार्ये भयावहे बंधम मोक्षम च यो वेति बुद्धिसा पार्थ सात्विकी. Here Krishna addresses Arjuna as Parth because he is the son of Prutha. Prutha means that a mother's name, mother of Arjuna, Prutha. Okay, so Partha Sarathi, O Arjun. Partha means Sarathi, Arjun. Okay, O Arjun. Prabhutim cha nivruti, prabhuti and nivruti. Prabhuti means our habits, we follow our habits. Okay, I mean we know our duties. Prabhuti means duties, what to do, that is the prabhuti, activities. Nivruti, free from duty, not doing duties, no duties. Okay, non-duties, duty and non-duty, action, inaction, doing and not doing. Karya or karya, karya means here action, inaction. I mean you have to do and not. See, prabhuti, nivruti, activities, inactivities, karya, akarya, doing and not doing. So you have to make a little bit difference here. Prabhuti, nivruti, action and inaction, karya, akarya, doing and not doing, bhaya, abhaya, fear and fearlessness. Okay, two things are compared here. Prabhuti, nivruti, opposite to each other. Karya, akarya, doing and not doing, opposite to each other. Bhaya, abhaya, fear and fearlessness, opposite to each other. Moksham, bandham, moksham. Bandham means bondage and moksha means salvation. Okay. So yo beti, beti means one who knows. I mean one who knows the distinction between, one who knows the difference between, one who can differentiate between prabhuti and nivruti, activity and non-activity or inactivity. Right? Karya, karya, action and inaction, or you can write doing and not doing. Bhaya, abhaya, fear and fearlessness. Bandham, moksham, bondage and freedom. Sa buddhi, that intelligence. Sa buddhi, that kind of intelligence. Sa buddhi, O Arjun, is known as sattvic, pure intellect. That intellect is known as pure intellect. I repeat, O Arjun, one who distinguishes between activity and inactivity, non-activity, you can write. Karya, karya, action and inaction, you can write doing and not doing. Bhaya, abhaya, bhaya means fear and abhaya means fearlessness. Bandha, moksham, bondage and freedom. That intelligence is called pure intelligence, okay, or virtuous intelligence. Okay, so we'll discuss now each and every point in expansion part. Here, children, when you do some action, when you do some activities, we should understand difference, what to do and what not to do. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing so many things which are not required, which are not needed, which are not desired by the people, which are not helpful for others, which are not beneficial for others. That things we should forget to do. We should skip that point. I mean, what to do and what not to do, that we have to make it out. And after, sometimes we do the things we feel, no, I should not do it. Means you are retarding yourself. You are reluctant to do. Okay? That you have to also think whether I should do or not, whether it is beneficial for me or not. Okay? That while thinking we have to do. Bhaya, abhaya. in which thing we have to fear and which thing we have to not to fear. Where we should drop the fear from our mind, where should have fear. Suppose related to God, when doing bad things, we should always have fear from God. Okay, we should be afraid of God. And where should we not? If you are doing something good, if you are not at fault, if you are not committed any blunder, that time you should not fear. And bandha moksham, bondage. What is bondage? What makes us bound? What makes us trapped in the problem? And what is freedom? I mean, by doing which things I am get involved, I am associated with the problem, I remain dissatisfied or distracted, and what by doing which things I should remain free, I should enjoy freedom. So this difference you have to understand. So those who understand the difference, they are really intelligent, or their buddhi, their intelligence is called pure intelligence, because they know the difference. So they do accordingly. Okay. So we constantly exercise our free will to make choice, and our cumulative choices determine where we reach in life. Robert Frost vividly describes this in his poem, "The Road Not Taken, I Shall Be." Okay, I mean, he always tried to follow the path where nobody has gone, the road not traveled yet. To make proper choice, a developed faculty of discrimination is required. The developed faculty of discrimination is required. When you choose something, so you have to discriminate which thing I should take. The Bhagavad Gita itself was spoken to Arjuna to equip him with the power of discrimination. If one can determine, then he can determine what to do. At the outset, Arjuna was confused about his duty. His incoordinate attachment to his relatives had bewildered him to take decision. He was not ready to fight with relatives. So he got confused because he don't know the difference, what to do and what not to do. He was supposed to fight with his relatives, not to kill them, but to perform his duty. That he could not decide. They could not differentiate. So God, Lord Krishna, taking this opportunity, he clarified what to do and what not to do. You have to think about. Okay. So these things to write in expansion. Now in moral, we have to write, one should exercise one's willpower to choose the right path. One should exercise one's willpower to choose the right path. And one more thing you can write in some moral, one should have the power of decision taking while doing any action. One should differentiate between good and bad. Okay, that is it for today's lesson. I am not discussing exercise today. So this is the homework I am giving to you in a notebook. Try to write translation as well as write expansion with a moral. While writing everything, just watch the video again and again, and please subscribe to my channel so that it remains present in your subscription box. You can watch at any point of time. If any queries, please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice time. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.